For 50 years, Microsoft has been proud to help write the story of innovation. For 50 years, we've pushed beyond expectation, and our mission has always been clear.
Our mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more.
Our ambition remains as big as ever, and in this moment of new possibilities, the best way to empower each of us is to empower all of us. That's why we build tools that bring ideas to life. A cloud that gives you freedom. Devices that give you access. And AI that not only assists, but amplifies. We didn't build Copilot to drive the next big leap in technology. We built it to drive the next big leap in you. Creating a reality where everyone can be the pilot. Flying to a place where imagination is the only frontier. At Microsoft, our past has always been about the future. Now our future is all about you.
Well, okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Can we do better, right? Good morning. You go get the coffee in the break, so no worries. There's plenty of coffee. So I'm here in the Netherlands. This is my home country. I moved to the US to work for Microsoft as part of the product group and starting Windows 365 roughly like 4.5 years ago. And now I'm back here. Guess what I did when I was here for the first time? What did I eat? Frikandel special. I probably broke the record of eating most bitterballen in 1 week as well. So it's been a great week here, and I'm very excited to be here and present the past and the future of Windows with all of you. And before I start, who's happy with AppV being extended in terms of end-of-life date here? Nobody? Well, Tim is. I know he is. So we have plenty of sessions today. So Dennis Gunderev from our team is here as well. He sits over there. He's doing a protocol deep dive. We have Jim Moll. I'm not sure where he is. He's on the back there. He's doing an AppV, or let's say app-attached deep dive on apps as well. So stay tuned for that and attend these sessions. And before we do so, let me explain a little bit what this keynote is all about. So I'm going to jump back in time and start with a quiz and have some fun with all of you. But before I do so, all the presentations I've been doing so far in different countries, we start with a picture with the whole audience together. So that piece of energy that you just pressed out with the good morning, I need a little bit more from you as well for that picture. So are you ready? Yeah? Okay, let's do it. I count from 3 to 1, and then you do a wave. And some folks that have seen this before, some people do the YMCA in the audience or some crazy dance. Tim, no pressure. So let's do it. 3, do a wave or something fun, and say AppV together. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay, so now I can go back to Redmond. Job's done, and just enjoy the conference, right? Now let's start with a quiz, because Windows has been around for over like 4 or 5 decades. We just celebrated our 50-year anniversary, which is like insane when you think about it. 50 years of relevant technology, and Windows really has been a starting point of kind of the innovation, what led to Copilot, AI, and all these other great experiences and features that you currently can purchase and you use on a daily basis. So here you see a great kind of timeline on when it started. And 50 years ago it started, but this year, in April, we celebrated our 50-year anniversary. And it was kind of fun because in Redmond, Bill Gates Paul Allen is no longer, of course, anymore here, but Steve Ballmer and Satya Nadella were on campus, and they celebrated that moment together. And I have some video footage of that. It was an internal event, which I will show you in just a bit, too. It all started kind of with Windows 95, with a computer on every desk in every home. And that changed the world kind of completely, implementing or using Windows on a daily basis. And with Windows 365, we are building the future of Windows. And it's gonna change the way how you interact with Windows and your computers as well. And I'm gonna share today what we recently released and what's coming soon on the roadmap as well, as part of Windows 365. So who remembers the song of Windows 95? So the fun thing, a week ago, I was in Germany, and this video here is streamed on the Dutch television as well. So, and the customer, ZDF, was in the room as well. It's kind of a funny moment there. So, let's start with a quiz that we all do together, and I have 3 prizes here. I have a Windows 365 water bottle. Yeah, that's cool, right? Because it's autumn and winter starts, I have a Windows 365 winter, like, how do you call it? A muts, right? A muts in Dutch. And then one more thing, it's a little bit of a wiggle kind of table here. An exclusive Windows 365 link t-shirt. There are only 5 of them. So, let's start. If you know the answer to this question, raise your hand, shout it out, and I will get you the prize. Ready? Let's do it. Okay, what's the operating system name of this startup song? You raise your hand and didn't play the video yet. Okay. No. Yes. No, no Vista. Who said that? Which answer did you say? Millennium. Yes, that's the right answer. So come over here. Which one do you want? Do you want a shirt? Or you want a shirt, right?
Sure, thank you.
So applause for the gentleman. Okay, this is a fun one. I think everybody knows this one. The fun story about this operating system is in Redmond, during winter, most people go for skiing in Canada. So on top of Vancouver, there's a place called Whistler. You can ski there, you can drink, you can do kind of the same things that you can do in Switzerland as well. And the code name of that operating system was called Whistler because people that developed that operating system came for skiing there. There was even a version, Longhorn, which was Vista, which is a bar in between Whistler and the other places over there where they just drink a lot of alcohol. So who knows the answer to this operating system startup song? Raise your hand. 7? No. XP. Okay, which one do you want? Okay.
Winter.
Yes, hey, applause for that gentleman. Last one. And this is a fun one. What was the operating system that caused the blue screen during the announcement?
95.
Not 95. 98. Who was saying 98 over there? Okay, you already won, right? No. Okay, well, I will not throw this one to you because, I don't know. I will give it to you here. Here. Congrats, applause for that gentleman as well. So, let's prove it out.
So we can just daisy chain up to 127 USB devices here. That's an everyday task. Just plug it in. It's going to say, hey, I see you've plugged in a new device. And it's going to load in the appropriate drivers. You'll notice that this scanner build, whoa. Moving right along.
That must be why we're not shipping Windows 98 yet.
Absolutely.
It's a fun moment to see, and Chris Capicella was the demo guy of Bill Gates, and he just retired at Microsoft like a year ago. So let's move along in this journey of the past of Windows, like 50 years ago, a computer on every desk in every home, to now a computer delivered from the cloud and AI in every service. And 2021, we released Windows 365 to the outside world. It happened during Microsoft Inspire. COVID just kind of resolved a little bit, and the whole product was built remotely as well. So at that time, I was still working from the Netherlands, building this product with an amazing team, and we all were remote. And the fun thing is when we announced this product, we all saw each other for the first time in Redmond. It's kind of an amazing journey so far. So here you see the group of people, and there were plenty of more people, but the people that were in Redmond at the announcement as well, where we celebrated the announcement of Windows 365, really as part of the future of Windows, and democratizing VDI and making VDI available for everyone, just via the Intune console. And that journey has been great, because we have been expanding the reach and the capabilities that you can use as part of Windows 365 as a service for more use cases. So we announced Windows 365 Frontline, which is a service, extension, another offering on top of Windows 365 for shift workers or for task workers as well. So I'm going to show you how you can configure that and what the exact use cases are, as it can be a way to be more building the business case can be better, and you can make it more as part of a lower return of investment in TCO, as part of combining the different use cases you have, as moving, for example, from VDI or physical PCs to the cloud. Then, in 2024, we announced Windows 365 Link. And I have one here, and I will pass it along so you can kind of give it to other people as well if you want to kind of get a feel on what the device is. And this project started like roughly 3 years ago with an incubation team where I was part of, to kind of build a device for Windows 365 boot, which is a boot to cloud experience from Windows 11 to boot straight into a cloud PC. And we were like getting questions from customers. Hey, why are you not building a device? Why are you not kind of building something end-to-end when you unbox it, that it can boot straight into a cloud PC from a device that's purposely built for streaming? And that was the release of Windows 365. Great announcement last year during Ignite. Satya announced it on stage. And yeah, the interest is amazing. The other thing, and this is probably the most exciting one that we just released 3 weeks ago, is Windows 365 Cloud Apps. So it always has been the difference between Azure Virtual Desktop and Windows 365, that remote apps was never supported on Windows 365. That changed. So Windows 365 now supports the remote app technology. And it as well has a lot of improvements coming along that will improve the streaming stack to make the applications feel even better than they were as part of the Azure Virtual Desktop remote app technology. So more on that in just a bit too. As part of the future of Windows, we also need more capabilities, more service extensions like the Frontline offering, but more kind of connected to a physical PC. So what we did 2 years ago, when we were still working on Windows 365 offline mode, we were thinking, hey, what can we do more to bring that offline mode experience into a new offering where we can make a PC more like highly available while using the Windows Cloud stack that we deliver with Windows 365. And that was the starting point of Windows 365 Reserve, which is our new offering where you can extend your physical PC if it breaks due to like stolen device break fix scenarios, or let's say spilling coffee over your keyboard. Sometimes still happens, right? That you can spin up a cloud PC via Windows 365 for like 10 days and pay a lower fee and have that as a disaster recovery offering for physical PCs as well. And that is just the starting point of more of these different kind of capabilities and services that we are making available as part of the Windows 365 service stack, while listening to customers like yourself and being here at events to learn from what you need in order to leverage the power of the cloud and AI as well. So another fun thing, I don't know, who knows what Windows 365 is in this room? Can I see some hands? Okay, great. So that's like 50% or so. So I asked Copilot, and Copilot has a new integrated experience called Audio Expressions to create a song of a certain product or whatever you put in as a prompt. So I put in, create a song in Dutch, or about like Dutch bitterballen, about explaining Windows 365 Cloud PC. So let's see how that sounds.
Oh my gosh, you guys! I've got a song brewing in my heart about the most delightful things. Bitterballen and Windows 365 Cloud PC. Bitterballen, oh what a treat. Crunchy on the outside, oh so neat. Dip them in mustard, feel that bliss. Every bite is pure happiness you can't miss. And then there's Windows 365. In the cloud, I feel so alive. Access my files anytime, anywhere. It's like magic floating in the air. Oh, the joy of a cozy night, bitterballen in hand. Everything feels right. With my cloud PC, I'm soaring high. What a combo.
Well, let's leave it with that. So Windows 365 is our new SaaS offering. So it's delivering the easiness of deploying apps and like desktops in Intune. So if you're having Intune expertise, you can spin up a cloud PC. And all the kind of VM objects and capacity, image management parts of, hey, we deliver images for you, is part of a SaaS offering. So it's really democratizing virtualization and making virtualization available for everyone. So you no longer need to invest in that VDI expertise in order to ramp up to deliver this to your end users. Then we have Azure Virtual Desktop, which is our cloud VDI offering, where you can kind of configure everything kind of yourself, just like doing it at the, in the US, it would say Home Depot, but here it would say Gamma, for example. You can build it yourself, you can customize it. If you prefer that and you love that, this is the best service for you to pick for your business. And we know that there's a lot of legacy coming in, and Azure Virtual Desktop is really a great fit for transfer the legacy components to the more modern cloud-native world with Microsoft Intune. We also see a lot of customers using Azure Virtual Desktop for the flexibility and as well Windows 365 for the fixed price offering and SaaS greatness combined as better together solution. So looking at these two as a comparison, a couple things that I want to highlight. When we build Windows 365, as an end user experience, like looking at VDI solutions from 10 years ago, there was never a reboot button in the client. So we implemented something just as simple as rebooting your cloud PC as an end user. And that results in lowering tickets by just like implementing this feature by 40 or 50% for some customers, as end users can just reboot their PC and fix most of their issues without creating a ticket for the service desk to reboot it. That's just one example of things we released in the Windows app, specifically for Windows 365. Same as the restore feature, that you can restore to a previous point in time. It's another feature that's built into Windows 365 as part of the SaaS offering we deliver. The pricing is fixed price, so everything is predictable. Azure Virtual Desktop is pay by use, so you can kind of pick and choose what fits your best business case needs and combine them as well. And then with the new Frontline offering, you can also do more for task workers and such too. So I have more information on that in just a bit. The other part, and let me go back real quick, is the rich app remoting experience right now that's also available in Windows 365. That wasn't the case 3 weeks ago. So really, what I want to leave you with this slide is make sure that you understand the needs from your customers and pick and choose the best offering and combine them as well. As the front end of the end user is the Windows app right now, which is our unified app experience that creates a unified app experience from any device, any client that we support. So think about web, Windows, Mac, Android. We have the Windows app everywhere available on these devices. But you can, from that client, as well connect to Azure Virtual Desktop, Windows 365, even RDP connections as well. So we will make that the center, the unified experience for end users connecting to the Windows Cloud services. And we are soon as well end-of-lifing the remote desktop app. So more on that in just a bit. Another fun story to share is that 3 years ago, we started to interact with Gartner about the Magic Quadrant for desktop as a service. And in fact, I was one of the persons leading the demo roadmap exercise of Gartner walking through our current roadmap like 3 years ago, as well as kind of what's available on the service at that time. So what ended up happening is that in a building called One Estera in Redmond. It's in the middle of the campus. It's a very fancy building. The Xbox team is in that building too. So if you walk in that building, you see Halo characters and other characters from Xbox over there. And we had Gartner coming over on the second floor. It was 6 a.m. in the morning. And we had them going through a bunch of demos in our roadmap. For the first time, we applied for the desktop as a service Magic Quadrant, which you can see here on the screen. We ran through everything, like probably 10 times to make sure everything works, to avoid a blue screen or something, as an example in the beginning of this presentation. And then it's silent for like 2 months. You don't hear anything back from Gartner. And then at like 2 months-ish, you get a report back. And then what ended up happening is that we ended up in the right-hand corner as a leader. And the way how they measure this is in two kind of ways. Ability to execute and the completeness of vision. So the ability to execute means the things the product does at that time is aligning with the needs from customers. The completeness of vision is really, hey, what's coming in the next year or 3 years? And is that aligning with all the research Gartner is doing with their customers in terms of what the market needs are for the next 2 to 3 years? So if both of these axes are like measured correctly, you end up in the right-hand corner. And we are very proud with products like Azure Virtual Desktop being in market since 2019 and Windows 365 being in market since 2021, that we are leading with a significant distance because of the advantages of bringing everything together as one experience. And that's what we do with Intune as well. Intune is our IT admin console, our unified pane of glass where you can do the management, provisioning of a cloud PC, Defender, security, all these things from an IT management perspective. And from an end user perspective, we have the Windows app. So we're still using the remote desktop app in their environment. Don't be shy. There are probably some out there. You need to move soon to the Windows app. The Windows app is the new app to go for your end users. We are nearing feature parity in the next month or 2 months or so. The team is working hard to make that happen. And the end of support date for the remote desktop app is March 27, 2026. So be prepared for that. Start kicking the tires with the Windows app. Install it side by side. Let your users use it already. Make them familiar with the new experience that you can see here on the right side. And the good thing is that you can stream all these different types of services, like Windows 365, Azure Virtual Desktop, remote apps, remote PC connections as well. So it's easy to implement as well as easy to use as part of end-user experiences that we implement and learn from our customers to optimize. The other parts that we are working on is making it more easier to configure and customize this app as well in Microsoft Intune. So stay tuned for that and learn more about these experiences soon. The other part that we had as a decision to make when we built Windows 365, like even before 2021, let's say mid-2020, when we had a decision to make, should we build the Windows 365 product completely separated from Intune? Or should we partner with Intune and then build it inside the Intune console? And luckily, we decided the latter. We implemented Windows 365 completely end-to-end into Intune. In fact, we were in the same building. So 121 in the Microsoft campus is as well the building where Intune was sitting 3 years ago. So we were sitting on the 4th floor, no, on the 3rd floor, and Intune was sitting on the 2nd floor. So we kind of built the product inside the team with as well the product and as well the product integrations inside the Intune portal. And what you see here is the result of that decision. all the greatness, Intune Suite, Security Copilot, Defender integrations, just Intune Suite improvements that you have seen landing, are all supported on Windows 365 as well, because we are leveraging Intune Console as well as the Windows 11 and Windows 10, which soon goes end of service. Single user, or let's say the enterprise SKU of the operating system. And that means that there's much more integrated experiences and feature parity compared to a physical PC when you use a cloud PC. So then there's Windows 365 Link. And this project started as well with a small group of people. We were building Windows 365 Boot. So I was 3 years ago the PM for Windows 365 Boot. Right now I'm leading our end-user AI experiences in Redmond. And what we had in mind was, hey, build an experience that feels like local to an end user. So we pretty much are all very familiar with like VDI experiences, and kind of we know how the clients work and such. But imagine a user that never used virtualization before. They have a hard time getting ramped up, connect to that client. Maybe a single sign-on doesn't work. And they might need a PDF of 8 pages to scroll through, and they as well call the service desk, hey, it doesn't work for me. So with that mindset, we build an experience that you can just type in your username, password, or MFA, or Windows Hello, and then boot straight into a cloud PC. And that's the Windows 365 boot experience for Windows 11. And while we were building that, we were like, we need to build a device for this experience as well, completely optimized for streaming, and as well for a low-cost price. And that was Windows 365 Link, the starting point in Microsoft. I still remember the moment where we had a board meeting with Satya Nadella, and we brought the prototype to him. And the devices floating around here was not the original prototype. It looked a little bit different, but almost identical. And we had a suitcase, just like a James Bond movie, like a secret suitcase. We brought it into the room, and then when we talked about it in the room, we opened it up, and it felt like a very special moment. And ever since, Satya has been like really testing and being very passionate about this device, as he has been announcing it last November during Microsoft Ignite in the main keynote. So let me show you how Windows 365 Link works, how fast you can onboard it from the moment you unbox it to the moment you plug it in and become productive, as well as between switching users as part of new flex worker hybrid use cases in your environment, where users use a desk, and then other users use the same desk the day after. So let me run the video.
From unboxing to productivity, Windows 365 Link is ready in minutes. The device has arrived, and Alex, the IT admin, is prepared to begin setting up a hot desk in the office. Alex unboxes the device and plugs in both monitors. He then plugs in the USB dongle to connect the wireless keyboard and mouse, as well as the Ethernet cable and camera. Lastly, he plugs in the Windows 365 Link and powers it on. With the device powered on, the UBI process begins. Since the device is already connected, the option to select Wi-Fi is skipped, and Alex accepts the EULA. He is then presented with a final screen to sign into Entra, which will connect his device to the tenant. He enters his work email address and authenticates using a security key with a PIN. The device is now automatically joining to the company's Entra tenant and enrolling in Intune, enabling the device to be cloud-only and fully managed. While this is happening, let's talk about related security capabilities. Entra's strong authentication methods, conditional access policies, and single sign-on eliminate the need for a password on this endpoint. And security features like Secure Boot, BitLocker, and Hypervisor Protected Code Integrity are enabled by default and cannot be disabled. There is no local data storage and no local apps, so corporate data is never on the device. And with no local admin users and strict application control policies in place, no local software can be installed because only pre-installed software can run on the device. The UBI process is now complete, seamlessly connecting Alex to his cloud PC right where he left off. He's ready to set up the next hot desk. Jaylene, an end user, sits down at the desk to begin her day. She plugs in her FIDO2 security key to the device, touches the biometric reader to authenticate, and connects to her cloud PC. The presentation she's been working on is open on her desktop just as she had left it. She makes progress on her presentation. She then signs out of the device and heads to lunch. With the hot desk now open, employees come and go throughout the day, each quickly getting to their cloud PC. Jaylene is back from lunch and signs in. Knowing she has a Microsoft Teams meeting to join in a minute, she goes to the Settings app and pairs her headset via Bluetooth. She opens her calendar and joins the meeting with her colleagues to review her presentation. Since Teams is optimized with a VDI plugin, she's experiencing highly performant video conferencing with streaming full 1080p resolution, both in and out. The Teams meeting has ended, and Jaylene signs out for the day. She leaves the office knowing that no data is left on the device and is ready for the next user. It took less than 3 minutes to set up and be productive with Windows 365 Link, the simple, secure, purpose-built device for Windows 365.
Yeah, one of the things you saw in that video, what I think is one of the game-changing things that have never happened in terms of VDI integrations in the past, in terms of redirections and such, is something what we internally call blended settings. So if you pop up, as a normal user that's not familiar with virtualization, you will probably pop up the settings menu and Bluetooth settings, just like you normally do, right? Just go in Bluetooth, do the pairing, and just pair your headset. Well, guess what? In VDI, that never worked because that's separate VMs and complexity and all these things. What we did is we bridged the settings menu together with the local device. And now what you can do, what you saw there, is configure display settings and Bluetooth directly from within settings where it naturally should have been always when you were using VDI. And this is just an example of how we define the future of Windows. And these experiences are all available as well with Windows 365 boot. The other exciting thing is that Windows 365 Link is now available in the Netherlands as well. So if you're interested in this device, you can contact your distro or the Microsoft counterpart salesperson that you normally work with, and they can hook you up with some test devices or help you with the onboarding or POCs in your environment. So very excited about this release. And we are expanding to more different regions. So if you're from a different country and your country is not on the list, stay tuned because more regions will be rolling out in the next coming months. Talking about Windows 365 boot. So Windows 365 boot is really the boot to cloud experience that is also available on Windows 365 Link. However, now from Windows 11. So I can imagine that you're like, hey, I just purchased like thousands of Windows 11 devices to upgrade from 10 to 11. So I'm not going to buy a Windows 365 Link device. Well, the good thing is that this boot to cloud experience is also available on Windows 11. So in Intune, you can just go to the Windows 365 blade under devices, and then go into the Windows 365 boot menu over there, and then just roll through an autopilot configuration, and then the endpoint will move into a boot to cloud experience. And the experience and the blended settings and the settings integration enhancements that I just explained are also available for Windows 11. We just recently, 2 weeks ago, did a bunch of improvements while using the cloud and as well the endpoint stack from Windows 365 Link, and port that as well to Windows 11. So if you're interested in kicking the tires with Link, and you have a Windows 11 device, and you have Windows 365 trial licenses, or you have licenses in your environment already, I recommend you to take a look at this, because right now, you can as well sign in to your physical PC. So guess a scenario where a user needs to travel and work offline. You can now as well boot to your local PC if you need local access to that physical PC. We'll still have that boot to cloud experience when the user wants to log on to their primary device, which is hosted in the cloud. The other parts that you see here are enhancements on the end-user experience. So think about error messages, health checks messages, and things like that that are coming to make the end-user experience even better and solve the challenges for the end user before they actually have to contact the service desk. So what you see here is the Windows 365 boot experience for Windows 11. We optimized the login speed experience, so that's just 6 seconds right now. And then you log in straight to your cloud PC. And the person that you just saw in the screen reflection is called Amar Zevri. He has been the engineering leader of Windows 365 Boot, as well as Windows 365 Link. And the fun joke I always do with him is I bought him a license plate with Bootman on it. He didn't put it on his car yet, but I think he is the perfect example of an engineer that is so passionate about this space that he's is staying on this project and keeps innovating and improving the boot experience for end users and customers, as I just explained in a previous slide. So let's talk about what does it mean in terms of the like local terminology I just called out. Like local really means the same as a physical PC. So the same as what we are familiar with. And what we have been doing as part of our team, where Dennis has been part of as well, is improving the protocol stack and the experience and the reliability of our platform in new ways that we have never done before. We have a new project in Microsoft since a year, an initiative called the Dial Tone Initiative, meaning that you need to just be able to pick up the phone like you normally were in the past when there was like wired cable and there's always a connection available. We have that as an initiative in the team to improve the reliability and the connection speed of RDP. And what you see here is hard work of a team of over 50 developers to improve the reliability of RDP. Who's been using AVD or Windows 365 here for the last 6 months and has seen better connectivity, speeds, or no connection drops? Yeah, that's really amazing. And we were in Switzerland, and we saw a significant amount of people raising their hands as well. As in 2 times more, or let's say less, of connection drops. We saw on the back-end telemetry coming in that the connection durability as well as reliability improved. The time to reconnect improved as well, so that's just like below a second. And we're even working on logging into a cloud PC to get that right now at 6-ish seconds, but get that below 1 second as well. Other improvements are about lower bandwidth usage, as well as the way how the connection is being set up on the back to be faster there, to improve the logon experience for boot, as well as the Windows app, and as well on Link to be below 1 second. And we are working on something that will blow your mind in terms of making sure that the session is already warm before you log on as well, so you have a reconnecting experience every time you log on to your session. And this is just an example of the things we have been working on. And in Dennis's session, I'm pretty sure he will double-click on these numbers and show some more on, hey, how is RDP or protocol in general working behind the scenes to make the streaming tech even better than it has been in the past. So here you can see all the improvements we did over the last 5 years in terms of improving the RDP protocol. So a lot of people that have been using RDP for 5 years or 10 years ago still have like legacy association of certain features not working or the experience is not great. But in fact, the reality is that RDP really evolved to really be a leading protocol, and customers acknowledging that feedback to us as well. And here you can see why all these improvements are something you experience inside your end-user experience right now. And one of the great things, I think, that really made that impact on that connectivity drop kind of improvement is something called RDP multipath. And RDP multipath is something what you can see here happening on the screen in a comparison demo. And what you see here on the left side, and this takes a little bit longer, but what we simulate here is a connection drop. So you see 2 NICs, and we simulate by disconnecting 1 NIC, what happens with the end-user experience. And on the left side here, you see an experience, and let me real quick play this so you can see it right now and don't have to wait. Who has seen this screen? Looks familiar, right? It's not very nice. to be very frank. It's coming even from Windows 7. It's like an old shell. So what you did when you see that as an end user, you probably clicked on cancel, connection dropped, and then reconnect. And then after a minute or so, the user is productive again. It's not a good experience. So with multi-path, we set up 2 paths with RDP on the back. So if there's a drop of the primary path connection, the other one is still active. So we will disable, and the text is a little blurry, but we disable one of the primary connections. And then you see that there's no drop in the end user experience. And that's one of the improvements we recently did to make that experience of RDP really that great like local experience you're familiar with a physical PC. The other part I just highlighted is the connection time. So connecting from the Windows app inside your Windows 365 Cloud PC or Azure Virtual Desktop is now only taking 6 to 7 seconds. Previously, that was 23 seconds. So that improvement is another example of us pushing the boundaries of improving the connection time from start to finish for the end user. And this is not where we stop. We are working on improvements to get this below 1 second. So now I want to talk a little bit about Windows 365 Frontline. So Windows 365 Frontline is our new offering as, let's say, a sub-offering of Windows 365. So you have Windows 365 Enterprise for 24/7 availability, like local experience, all managed in Microsoft Intune. Then we have Frontline in dedicated mode and shared mode. And shared mode is recently announced, or recently in GA. So let me start to explain a little bit how these two differentiate from Windows 365 Enterprise. They all work within Intune. They have the same simplicity, SaaS greatness of Windows 365. However, one is designed for shift workers. So imagine you have contractors in your environment. You want to provide them a cloud PC integrated in Microsoft Intune. But you don't want to pay 24/7 for a fixed price license that you get with Windows 365 Enterprise. Guess what? Windows 365 Frontline in dedicated mode allows you, when you buy one license, to provision 3 personal cloud PCs. The point to remember is there can only be 1 cloud PC session active at once. But you can bundle it with like hundreds of these licenses. So what you should remember, if you have part-time workers, morning shifts, afternoon shifts, evening shifts, night shifts, most likely you can, with 1 license, serve 3 users instead of just buying 1 enterprise license, while still have that persistent personal Windows experience. Then we have Windows 365 Frontline, which is our shared offering. And shared offering means you can spin up a cloud PC in sort of a kiosk mode experience. So it's a hot cloud PC. You can log on. If you log off, you finish your task of 30 minutes, another user can log on to that same cloud PC. So see it as a shared cloud PC. It's not multi-user, it's single user, but you can share the same device in the cloud for like small tasks that you can see here that are happening like in the morning. So think about a contractor that does hourly registration and only need a cloud PC for like 30 minutes on a day or something. Then this is a great offering for you to consider to use. And you can combine all these offerings together to meet the needs of your business, of your customers, of your partners, and really combine it to serve where you need to be today or in the future, and transfer maybe the different ways of configuration to more like enterprise, or more to frontline, or maybe more to a new offering like reserve in the future as well. So let me show you how that works. So if you're familiar with Intune, this looks probably very familiar to you. So in here, you go to Windows 365 Blade under Devices, and then you create a provisioning policy. So provisioning policy is all you need to do, except for, of course, assigning the license to the user, to provision a cloud PC. So what you can see here is that you can select 2 modes, full cloud PC and cloud apps as well. I will touch on that in just a bit. But what you see here is just a simple provisioning policy flow where you can configure a cloud PC in a specific region, make it cloud native, Entra ID, or hybrid that we support too. Select the image. We support custom images as well as gallery images. We hope that you're on the journey of moving to Intune and layer applications separately from your base image. That's the way to do it in a modern way. But we also support custom images here, also known as golden images. So who in this room still does golden image management in their environment? Who doesn't want to do it again? Okay, well, we released a new feature called Intune Device Preparation, or also known as Autopilot V2. And this integrated experience inside the provisioning policy allows you, as you can see here in the configuration flow, to create a policy to deploy applications, scripts, before the user logs on to their cloud PC. And that was one of the main reasons why golden images or custom images still has to be used as part of Windows 365. So we see great traction. It's now available in Frontline Shared, and it's soon as well available in the other offerings like Enterprise and Dedicated Frontline as well. So stay tuned for that. It's soon landing in your environment. So another exciting announcement we did roughly 3 weeks ago, is Windows 365 Cloud Apps. And Cloud Apps is our new offering to stream applications to the end user without the need for going into the full Windows desktop. We're all very familiar probably with Publish Apps or XenApp from Citrix or other technologies that do the same thing. What we did is build the simplicity, enrollment, the provisioning policy flow the same for cloud apps in Windows 365. So you can now provision applications without any complexity inside the Microsoft Intune portal to your end users to centralize the management of your line of business apps, or just simply your Office applications. So here you see the Windows app, and here what you can see is the Windows 365 Cloud Apps end user experience. And what we built as well with the Windows team is implementing something called Rail V2. It's a better experience to improve the integrated experience between the local PC and what streams in the cloud. So for example, rounded corners, the snapping experience, moving the screen from left to right, feels like local. And that's what we hold ourselves as part of a bar to ship these features to our customers. So let me show you how this works. So I just walked through the provisioning policy, very simple, straightforward, just 4 or 5 steps, and then the provisioning policies kicks in and your cloud PCs start to provision. If you want to do cloud apps, you can here click on the cloud-only apps option here that you can see here, access-only apps which run on cloud PC, which is Windows 365 Cloud Apps. If you click on that, it drops down as Cloud Apps is available for Frontline Shared only as of now. Then you go down, you pick the join type, the region, and then the great thing that you can see here is that it picks out of the image the applications that it can find that you can publish to your end users. So if you have use cases where you want to publish only an application for contractors or for different devices that you use, and you primarily use your local device more than your cloud PC or your cloud VDI or your VDI solution, then this could be a great solution for your end users. And you can combine it as well with cloud PCs and then present a cloud PC and a cloud app to an end user as well. So now I want to talk about Windows 365 Reserve. And Windows 365 Reserve was really an offering that started from what can we do to help customers that are in the need of a PC in a scenario when productivity loss is happening. So think about all these scenarios where you in the IT department have loaner devices on the shelves. What can we do there with a cloud PC? So all the scenarios of device loss, ransomware, coffee spilling, or just temporary access to a cloud PC because you left your laptop home and you went on vacation. Some of these use cases can be very useful to use a cloud PC for. But you don't want to pay a year or 3 years as part of a cloud PC subscription for just temporary access to a cloud PC. So we were like investigating, interviewing customers, and we were like, we need to build something explicitly for this use case and provision a cloud PC for just 10 days for specific users. And they can then decide, spin off a cloud PC, turn it off, and then save that 10 days. And they can then just decide themselves how to spend that 10-day kind of usage of a cloud PC when they travel or use it for other purposes. So that was the start of Windows 365 Reserve. It's completely built into the same provisioning policy flow that I just explained, and it's soon coming available as well, as we just released the gated public preview. So let me show you how it works, and this is as well the second time we show the IT admin experience, so how you can provision a Reserve Cloud PC for your end users.
Windows 365 Reserve is a new offering that gives users up to 10 days of cloud PC access per year, perfect for short-term needs and designed to help organizations provide employees with on-demand, continuous access when the unexpected strikes. Imagine your device is lost, stolen, or suddenly malfunctions. With Windows 365 Reserve, your organization is prepared. Administrators can quickly provide you with a fully configured cloud PC, complete with essential Microsoft 365 apps, security policies, and access from any device, so you can bounce back with minimal downtime. For IT admins, Windows 365 Reserve is simple to deploy. Once licenses are purchased, admins set up a provisioning policy, choose user groups, and configure settings. When disruption strikes, cloud PCs can be provisioned on demand, managed easily, and deprovisioned when you're back on your primary device, all within Microsoft Intune. As an end user, you can access your cloud PC from anywhere, using the Windows app or a web browser. You'll always know when your access is about to expire, and you can return your cloud PC to save remaining access time for future needs. Windows 365 Reserve offers fast productivity restoration, simplified IT management, and security by design. Each license grants up to 10 days of cloud PC access per year, making it a cost-effective solution for unpredictable disruptions and short-term access. Reserve is now in limited public preview.
I think the cool thing you just saw, besides this nice video here, is that you can start and stop the cloud PC and kind of control these 10 days yourself. So, talking about developers here, and the fun story here to share is about the 50-year Microsoft anniversary. So last April, there was a celebration party in Redmond, a big kind of podium. Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer, as well as Satya Nadella were there. And we were all like waiting for the moment for Steve Ballmer to do one more developers. We all know this kind of video, right? So that was what happening at the end of an hour celebration. So let me play the video of Steve Ballmer doing it once more, roughly 6-7 months ago in Redmond. So he still has it in him. He's still there. So the story to tell here is really to share that I'm not sure if there are customers using Microsoft DevBox in this room, but DevBox has been our developer cloud PC offering. We have been having that in market for roughly 2 years now, but we got a lot of questions from customers. Hey, how is that roadmap aligning with Windows 365 Enterprise and Frontline and all these other offerings in Intune? And we decided to merge DevBox inside the Intune portal and bring the offering of DevBox together with Windows 365 in the Intune portal experience and create the experience that is explicitly built for developers in the Azure portal to create that inside the Intune portal. So what you should remember is that on the 1st of November, we will stop selling DevBoxes. We will not stop the service, or whatsoever. We will do that in a collaboration manner. So we will pick the right moment to translate that into the Intune portal, but know that we are working on a new offering that creates feature parity or even better features in the Intune console for developers to leverage cloud PCs with developer capabilities like Visual Studio Code, but as well different snapshotting UAT testing kind of capabilities as well. Okay, so a couple more minutes to talk about Azure Virtual Desktop. So I'm not going to spoil the beans here for Jim Mull. I recommend you all to go to his session where he dives deeper in application management, App Attach, App V support for App Attach now, of course MSIX, but as well other solutions like the Omnissa, App Volumes, as well as Liquidware, and Numescent as well. So all these different capabilities of other application virtualization providers can now be leveraged as part of Azure Virtual Desktop and App Attach as well. The other great thing is that we released in Windows 365 support for Copilot. So to be explicit, Copilot in Intune that leverage security Copilot on the background. So what we built is new scenarios you can use in Copilot natural language processing to manage your cloud PCs, to see, hey, what are my cloud PCs? How many are in grace period? How many are underperforming? All these different scenarios on performance metrics, latency issues, degraded experiences, resizing, all these things that you can just use natural language and just collect those pieces for you as an IT pro without all the clicks and all the things you need to do yourself in Microsoft Intune. So let me show you in a quick video what we currently have in the Intune portal with Copilot, and soon more of these experiences are coming as well. So what you saw here is really exploring connectivity issues, health checks, and all these things from an IT professional kind of pro perspective. What we are working on is making this available as part of the Windows app experience too. So we just announced health checks inside the Windows app. So as an end user, you can open a new tab and see what's the status of my network, what's the status of the service, what's the status of certain capabilities that I configured as an IT professional. Like just simply clicking on it and see, hey, what's going on in my environment. And expect as well more AI flavor added to that in the near-term future as well. So, wrapping up and moving to the last part of this presentation. What's next? So you saw the past of Windows. You saw the future of Windows. You saw Link. You saw Reserve. You saw cloud apps. But what about AI? I didn't use AI that much as I think the standard Microsoft presenter these days. But AI is here and knocking on the door to change the way how we interact with our computers. And I saw a fun video that I want to play real quick on how we currently and have been in the last 30 years doing our work behind a computer. If the audio works.
I click this button, which gets me to the point where I click these buttons. And then these buttons get me to the point I click this button, and then sometimes I just click this button a lot. And then sometimes I click these buttons a lot, and unfortunately my body cannot differentiate running a marathon from having to click all the buttons. I will stare at my screen and I will think, I can't do that project, that's so many buttons that I have to click. Like the buttons are endless for this project, and yet in reality I'm literally just clicking buttons, and I'm exhausted. at the end of the day. And I've been reduced to this. I click these buttons so much, they are worn off. Minnesota and New Mexico, you're not getting an abbreviation because I can't find your buttons anymore. I'm starting to think that it's my buttons that are being pushed.
Well, the fun story here is that I think if we all track down how many buttons we click and use the mouse on a daily basis, it's kind of insane. And the analogy I want to make here, with agents and AI, and the way how we interact with our computers changing, there are new capabilities coming and are being worked on right now. And I believe Brian, in the closing keynote, will double-click on it, on what that means in terms of app management as well in the future, to control your computer based on an LLM and natural language processing. Because the future of AI is around agents. And here's a very interesting quote about how agents are going to change how everybody is interacting with computers. Imagine a future where you can talk with your computer and the computer performs all the tasks for you based on learnings they gain how you have been using your computer over the last couple years. Because typing in commands and tapping on icons and interacting with a GUI, even from back in the Xerox, kind of before Windows 95 was released, there was already a kind of a taskbar and a shell that didn't really change for like 40 years or so. So guess what? I don't know how much of you are paying attention to all the innovation we do with Microsoft Copilot or Microsoft 365 Copilot, and to be very specific, with Copilot Studio. A couple weeks ago, we announced Copilot Studio computer use. And computer use is a new feature that you can use in Copilot Studio to automate your task and completely have AI doing the interaction with your application, do expense reports, interact with your line of business app, finish the task, and then report it back to the user. So you as a user in the future will have many agents that will help you to be more productive and remove the repeated tasks that you have been doing while clicking the keyboard and mouse buttons all the time yourself. So with that, before I leave you to the break, we have a 20% discount of Windows 365 now too for all licenses. So if you want to use and try it out, you can look it up in the admin.microsoft.com portal. If you're joining, let me go back real quick for the picture. So go to AKMS/save on W365 to learn more and get access to that discount. We also have an offering for you for moving Windows 10 to Windows 11. So what if you are still on Windows 10 devices that need to move to Windows 11 and you need more time to merge them or move them to Windows 11? With Windows 365, you get 3 years extended security updates included in the license. For the endpoint that connects to Windows 365 to your Windows 10 or Windows 11-based cloud PC. So it's a great offering that you can use if you already are in a journey or looking at Windows 365 to build that business case and savings while moving Windows to the cloud. So with that, with 1 more minute on the clock, so that's good timing, right, Kurt? I'm not sure where he is, but I know that everybody in this room, you face your current challenges in your environment. You have legacy, you have Kerberos, you have all these things, and you have to deal with that, and it's hard sometimes to keep the lights on. But my advice to you is to look at your environment like looking through the front windshield of your car. Looking at the windshield is the future. AI, Windows Cloud, Windows 365. The mirror in the middle there is your current environment. Hybrid Entra, Active Directory, GPOs, all these things you have to deal with as well. So my recommendation for all of you is to, for 30% or so on your daily basis, look to that windshield and look to the future of AI, computer use, Windows 365, because the future of Windows is cloud and AI, and we're just getting started. Ignite is just around the corner, and I hope with that you'll join our platform, try it out, let us know what you think. Jim, Dennis, myself today, or maybe later via social media. And with that, I want to close it in a fun way. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and see you in the break.